out of my system right
You
now.
do.
But yeah, the Cubs were great this year. It was fun. And I will like.
Bill Murray was born on September 21st, 1950, in Evanston, Illinois, into a bustling, lively household as the fifth of 9 children. Life in the Murray home was far from quiet or orderly. Crowded rooms, constant noise, and the challenges of everyday survival were a part of growing up. His father, Edward, worked as a lumber salesman, earning modestly to support the large family, while his mother, Lucille, devoted herself to keeping the household running after Edward passed away in 1967 when Bill was only 17. Those early years were a blend of chaos and creativity, where humor became a currency and a coping mechanism. At the dinner table, one unspoken rule was clear: if you weren't funny, you washed the dishes. Bill's sense of timing, his love for reading about American outlaws, and his early fascination with risk-taking and rebellion were nurtured in this environment. The spark of comedy. Bill's first steps into performance were never about formal training. They came from curiosity and necessity. At Loyola Academy, he explored music, forming a rock band called the Dutch Masters, singing Beatles covers, improvising lyrics, and testing boundaries with humor and performance. That early stage experience was as much about finding joy as it was about self-expression, a rehearsal space for what would later become his professional instincts. In 1968, he moved to Denver to study pre-med, but the rigidity of college life clashed with his restless spirit, and he soon returned home, hitchhiking across the country and meeting a variety of eccentric characters along the way. Those experiences, filled with unpredictability and personal growth, left deeper marks than any classroom or textbook could, shaping a worldview steeped in curiosity, observation, and improvisation. Second City and early stage work Bill's path into comedy became more structured when his brother Brian, already working with Chicago's Second City, opened the door for him. In 1973, Bill joined the touring company and quickly rose to the main stage, performing alongside talents like John Candy and Betty Thomas. He brought a deadpan energy, blending charm, chaos, and timing in ways audiences hadn't quite seen. His performances weren't polished or predictable. They teetered on the edge of disaster, a quality that made him unforgettable. Anecdotes from those early days, like breaking a heckler's arm during a show and then buying him a beer, became part of his legendary reputation for blending irreverence with unexpected generosity. By 1974, Bill moved to New York to join the National Lampoon Radio Hour, working alongside Gilda Radner, John Belushi, and Christopher Guest, refining his improvisational skills and establishing the playful, unpredictable persona that would define his career. Breaking into television came calling with ABC's short-lived Saturday Night Live in 1975, where Bill first aired his Nick the Lounge Singer act. Though the audience reaction was mixed, it offered him a platform to test and refine his material. When he eventually auditioned for NBC's Saturday Night Live, he initially bombed, but instead of turning him away, the producers offered him a writing position. Behind the scenes, Bill honed his sketches and waited for the right moment. That opportunity came when Chevy Chase left, allowing Bill to step into the spotlight. Early performances were tentative, but his unique style, offbeat, unpredictable, and daringly awkward, quickly resonated. By the third season, he had become a backbone of the show, memorable for sketches like his Abraham Lincoln impersonation, which combined historical absurdity with modern sensibilities in a way only Bill could deliver. His presence on SNL marked the beginning of a new kind of comedy, one built on improvisation, risk, and the subtle tension between chaos and control. Rising film career, Bill's move to the big screen began with Meatballs in 1978, a modestly budgeted film shot at Camp White Pine in Ontario. The project was chaotic, with improvisation and real-life campers adding unpredictability. But Bill's ability to adapt and find humor in the moment transformed the film into a breakout success, earning $43 million and establishing him as a leading comedic talent. Caddyshack followed in 1980, where Bill improvised his now iconic Cinderella story monologue in a single take, creating one of the most memorable performances in comedy history. His approach, committed, spontaneous, and deeply invested, became his hallmark, transforming scripts into living, unpredictable experiences. Even when things went wrong, from smashed props to physical mishaps, Bill's performances carried a sense of authenticity and raw humor that audiences found irresistible. Films like Stripes, Ghostbusters, and Little Shop of Horrors continued this trend, blending physical comedy, improvisation, and emotional nuance, and establishing Bill as a multi-dimensional performer capable of balancing chaos with charm. Evolution of craft. In the 1990s, Bill began exploring roles that pushed beyond straightforward comedy. Rushmore in 1998 marked a turning point, allowing him to inhabit characters defined by quiet despair, subtle humor, and introspection. The film, though modest at the box office, demonstrated his ability to inhabit complex roles, moving away from the manic improvisation that characterized his early career. Collaborations with Wes Anderson, including The Royal Tenenbaums and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, further refined this approach, blending deadpan delivery, timing, and understated emotional depth. His performances became studies in character, observation, and subtle humor, where even a single glance or whispered line could resonate with audiences. These roles highlighted Bill's evolving artistry, a man who could command laughter, reflection, and empathy simultaneously, often without repeating a formula or relying on traditional comedic beats. Balance between life and work. Bill's personal life often reflected the same unpredictability as his work. Despite fame and success, he maintained a certain independence and refusal to conform to standard Hollywood expectations. He took on projects for modest pay, traveled spontaneously to participate in events or festivals, and maintained passions like jazz, golf, and music, blending professional work with personal joy. This approach allowed him to sustain creativity and maintain a sense of self in an industry notorious for demanding conformity. Bill's willingness to explore unconventional projects like Lost in Translation and Broken Flowers further emphasized his commitment to authenticity over commercial expectation, illustrating a career defined not by predictability, but by curiosity, risk, and the pursuit of meaningful storytelling. Later, career and legacy. Even into his 70s, Bill continued to challenge expectations. Films like On the Rocks, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and collaborations with Wes Anderson demonstrated his enduring presence, adaptability, and dedication to craft. His humor remained sharp, his timing precise, and his commitment to character unwavering. Bill's career reflects a rare combination of consistency and reinvention, where decades of work blend into a tapestry of unpredictable creativity. Audiences continue to celebrate his ability to turn improvisation into art, chaos into comedy, and everyday human experiences into memorable cinematic moments. Beyond awards or accolades, Bill Murray's influence is measured by his capacity to make viewers laugh, think, and reflect, often simultaneously, while remaining unapologetically himself. Impact and philosophy. Bill Murray's life and career reveal a man who embraces imperfection, improvisation, and authenticity. he has turned missteps into opportunities, challenges into performances, and ordinary experiences into cinematic gold. His philosophy blends humor with humanity, often transforming mundane or absurd situations into reflections of the human condition. Whether through comedy or more serious roles, he embodies a sense of presence and risk-taking that few performers achieve, illustrating the value of curiosity, resilience, and individuality in both art and life. Bill's story reminds audiences that success need not be linear, that creativity flourishes in unpredictability, and that the human spirit often shines brightest when it refuses to follow the expected path. Continuing relevance. Today, at 75, Bill Murray remains a figure of fascination and admiration. He continues to explore new projects, revisit collaborations, and engage audiences with his unique blend of humor, empathy, and unpredictability. Whether appearing in cameos, independent films, or music performances, he brings a commitment to authenticity and playfulness that transcends generational divides. His influence extends beyond performance. He embodies the importance of maintaining curiosity, embracing mistakes, and valuing personal joy and freedom over convention. In an era dominated by social media and instant visibility, Bill Murray's enduring appeal lies in his ability to surprise, delight, and challenge audiences while remaining unmistakably himself. A living testament to the power of individuality, creativity, and the time